Have you ever wondered what the top 10 vodka cocktails are? I know I haven't. Well, let's make them anyways. What's up, home bartenders? Today we're making the top 10 vodka cocktails that you should know how to make at your home bar. You ready? Let's do it. All right, we're starting with the Moscow Mule. This is my personal favorite. So in a copper mug, we got ice. We're gonna do 2 ounces of vodka. In the mug, we're then gonna do half an ounce of lime juice. You could just squeeze a lime wedge if that's all you wanna do. And then we're gonna top it with spicy ginger beer. Now, every time I use Canada Dry ginger beer, someone says, oh, you're supposed to use ginger beer, not ginger ale. Yeah, they make both, okay? So get your facts straight. They make the beer and the ale. All right, garnish with a lime wedge, and there it is. Starting with my personal favorite, the Moscow Mule. Oh, that is so good. So for those of you who didn't know, a couple of years ago, I did a 100 mules in 100 days challenge. So I did 100 variations on the Moscow Mule in 100 days. Check out that playlist of all those short videos. Obviously, the main flavor of a Moscow Mule is the ginger beer. So that's why I love it, because I love ginger beer. The vodka obviously is not adding a huge amount of flavor. There's great variations, Mezcal Mule, Kentucky Mule with bourbon, but the classic is still a great drink. So starting strong, moving on. Up next, we've got the Cosmopolitan. Okay, so 1.5 ounces of vodka. You could use a citrus vodka here if you have that, but regular vodka works. We've got a 3/4 ounce of Cointreau. You could use a triple sec, it'll be a little sweeter. After that, 1 ounce of cranberry juice. I'm using unsweetened, but I will be adding some simple syrup. All right, 1/4 ounce of lime juice, and then, as I mentioned, simple syrup because my cranberry juice is unsweetened. If you're using sweetened cranberry juice, you probably don't need the simple syrup. Give it some ice, shaky shake. We're gonna serve this guy in a Nick and Nora. You could serve in a martini glass or a coupe. Garnish with a lime wedge. The Cosmopolitan, or Cosmo for short. Oh my God, that wash line is right at the edge. Very refreshing, sweet, tart. It's a great drink. It's not super complex, but it is very refreshing. So the history of the Cosmo dates back to like the 1930s, but it was definitely catapulted into the spotlight in the 90s thanks to Sex and the City, where it was the choice drink for the lead characters. Definitely a crowd pleaser, not my personal favorite, but a very enjoyable drink. Cheers. The Bloody Mary, or Bloody Caesar, depending on how you make it. I'm gonna do the Canadian version, the Bloody Caesar, but they're both basically the same drink. We wanna start with a Collins glass with a celery salt rim. I like to add a little bit of the tomato juice on the bottom. And then we're gonna do 2 ounces of vodka. You can dial this back if you don't want it as strong. 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. Some Worcestershire sauce, as much or as little as you like. If you like it spicy and more savory. Same with the hot sauce. You want a spicier one, more dashes of hot sauce. I'm using Tabasco. That's kind of the standard, but whatever hot sauce. Salt and pepper optional if you're using tomato juice. I'm using Clamato juice, which has clam broth in it, so it's already seasoned. The Bloody Mary, or in my case, a Bloody Caesar, because I'm Canadian. Man, that's good. I'm not huge into savory cocktails, but every now and then, this one just hits right. The spices, that savory flavor from the Worcestershire, the tomato juice, the Clamato juice. If you haven't tried Clamato juice, if you've only ever had the Bloody Caesars with tomato juice, try the Caesar. It's amazing. Yes, it's tomato juice and clam broth. Sounds weird, but try it. It's amazing. But yeah, this is just a fantastic cocktail. It's one of my wife's favorites, and it just hits. I don't make it often for myself anyways, but it's great. Nice and salty. I'm using BD's Potato Vodka today, a local product here in Ontario, Canada. I'll leave a link in the description, but let's move on and make a Vodka Martini. So starting with 2 ounces of vodka. You guys know how I feel about martinis and vermouth, so get the vermouth in there. I'm gonna do 1/2 ounce. Optionally, you can do some orange bitters that I like, and if you want a dirty martini, you can add 1/2 ounce of olive brine. All right, Stir, 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 get it into a martini glass. I'm gonna serve it with a lemon twist. You could do an olive. Rub the rim, there you go. Vodka Martini. The Vodka Martini. Admittedly, I don't really understand this one. To me, a martini should be made with gin. I mean, it tastes crisp, fresh, but it's like it's missing a bunch of botanicals and nice stuff. The only flavor really is coming from the vermouth, and some people don't even put vermouth in it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing, it's not bad. It's not a bad tasting drink. It's just, compared to a gin martini, it's missing something. If you're someone who likes vodka martinis, you've never had a gin martini, I recommend trying a gin martini. And don't skimp on the vermouth. I've said that a million times. Up next, the White Russian. All right, rocks glass with ice. We're gonna do 2 ounces of our vodka, and then we're gonna do 1 ounce of coffee liqueur. That's my homemade coffee liqueur. All right, in the glass, and we're gonna stir it here. Now, if you stop here, you've got a Black Russian. That's a cocktail, but we're making a White Russian, so we need some cream. Now, traditionally 1 ounce of cream just mixed in, but I like to lightly whip the cream so it sits on top. Delicious. The White Russian made with aerated cream, which is I think is the way to go. With the cream like this, it almost feels like a cold Irish coffee, without the Irish whiskey, of course. But if you have a really good coffee liqueur, which I do because it's homemade, it tastes great. And yeah, this is a good drink. As I mentioned, if you negate the cream, then you have a Black Russian, which is just the 2 ingredients, vodka and coffee liqueur. I'm not a huge fan of that one. It's kind of one-dimensional. If you don't aerate the cream, it's gonna sink, it won't layer on top, it'll mix all together. It'll be more of a consistency of like a latte or something. Some people prefer it that way. I don't, I like the layered. Here it is. The classic Espresso Martini made with proper, fresh, hot espresso. So get that in the glass. There we go. We're then going to do 2 ounces of vodka. And here's what you need to do. You want to pour that vodka into your espresso glass to soak up the rest of that coffee crema. Delicious stuff. All right, 1/2 ounce of coffee liqueur, using my homemade again. Almost out of that stuff. And then we want 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. If your coffee liqueur is very sweet, you could probably omit the simple syrup. All right, give it some ice, give it a good hard shake. If you have a fresh espresso, that crema will reinvigorate. We just want to let it sit so it separates properly, and then we can garnish with our 3 coffee beans. The Espresso Martini, properly made with real fresh espresso. Cheers. That is a thing of beauty. That is truly incredible. I love this drink. I mean, mainly because I love coffee, but I do love this drink. There's definitely no beating an espresso martini done with proper espresso. I've actually reviewed a few different versions on my channel. I did one from Dylan's Distillery, a local distillery that makes a cocktail in a can version of this. And when you shake it up and pour it, the taste was there, the foam was a little lacking. I also recently reviewed the Procero Espresso Martini syrup. They have a simple recipe of their syrup, vodka, and water, and their syrup has a foaming agent. So once again, when you shake it, it creates a foam that is similar, better than the canned cocktail. Similar, but not quite as good as the real deal. But it is obviously much easier to make, since with this, you have to brew some fresh espresso, and then you have to make the cocktail. My espresso machine's in the kitchen upstairs, so it's always a hassle running up there and then coming back down to the bar just to make a drink. So having those kind of syrups and stuff is ideal, but if you have access to fresh espresso easily, then definitely this is the way to go. This is fantastic. It's rich coffee flavor. Vodka is barely noticeable, barely there, but you do get, it's cold, it's sweet. Coffee, of course, and then because of that crema, that foam, it has a wonderful mouthfeel, and that's really what makes this a phenomenal drink. All right, up next, the screwdriver.
No.
We are not making a screwdriver. That's a garbage drink.
We have to. It's one of the top vodka drinks.
At least just add some Galliano to it and make it a Harvey Wallbanger.
All right, yeah, I guess we could do that. The Harvey Wallbanger. Okay, let's get a glass and some ice. We're gonna do 2 ounces of vodka in the glass. We're then gonna top this with some orange juice. Ugh. Now, basically right here, that's a screwdriver. But to make it a Harvey Wallbanger, we're gonna add a little bit of Galliano. Galliano is an herbal vanilla liqueur. We're gonna float a little bit on top.
So here it is, screwdriver's slightly more sophisticated cousin, the Harvey Wallbanger. Cheers. I mean, you guys know how I feel about orange juice in cocktails. Not a fan. This one is literally just orange juice and vodka. Takes me back to my high school days. But at the very least, with a little bit of Galliano, it gives it a kind of an herbal vanilla flavor on the nose, and there's a little bit floating on top. By the time you get to the bottom, it's gone, but there's a little extra there that at least makes it somewhat more complex, more enjoyable. I am reaching for compliments for this drink.
Up next, the Lemon Drop Martini. Okay, so start with 2 ounces of our vodka. We're then gonna do 3/4 ounce of Cointreau. You could use a triple sec if you want. We want 1 full ounce of lemon juice. This is called the lemon drop. It's gotta be tart. And 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. All right, get some ice in there. Give it a good shaky shake with the crazy face. Now we're serving this in a martini glass. I've got a coupe here, but we want a sugar rim on there. And garnish, of course, with a nice lemon peel.
The Lemon Drop Martini. I do like this one. Very citrusy, very refreshing, very nice. I often criticize vodka by saying things like, well, this would be good with any other spirit, like gin or rum, and this would be superb. And while that might be the case, in some of these drinks, maybe the fact that the vodka takes a backseat, maybe that's the point. Maybe in this one, what we're meant to taste is really that very bright citrus, lemon, orange flavor. Hey guys, we're doing the top 10 vodka cocktails today. We're about halfway through, I think. All right, if you like what you see, guys, please smash that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you're notified when we release new content, and let's keep going. Cheers.
Up next, we've got the Sea Breeze. Okay, building this one directly in a glass. I'm using a Poco Grande glass. You could use a highball, whatever you got. 1.5 ounces of vodka. We're then gonna do 3 ounces of cranberry juice. So this is basically like a vodka cranberry, but we're adding a little bit of grapefruit juice. So 1 ounce of grapefruit juice. You can turn this into a Hawaiian Sea Breeze by adding 1 ounce of pineapple juice instead of grapefruit. All right, stir, stir, stir. Garnish with a grapefruit.
The Sea Breeze, basically like a vodka cranberry with some grapefruit juice. Cheers. I expected it to be more tart with the grapefruit juice, and also my cranberry juice is unsweetened, but no, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, it's got just the right amount of sweetness. Kind of one-dimensional. Vodka, cranberry, little tartness from the grapefruit, but yeah, I mean, not a very complex drink, but that's all you want. You don't taste the alcohol much, so there's that. Cheers.
All right, for our 10th drink, the French Martini. So 2 ounces of vodka in our glass. We've got 1/2 ounce of raspberry liqueur. I think it's traditionally using Chambord, but I have my homemade stuff, so that's what I'm using. And then 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice. All right, icy ice, shaky shake. There we go. In a coupe, garnish with some raspberries or a chunk of pineapple.
I've actually never had this one. Yeah, don't really like this. It's sweet. There's a lack of acidity. Yeah, this just doesn't do it for me. This would need this suffers from the same problem that most orange juice cocktails have. Orange juice has a lack of acidity and it creates an unbalanced drink. We're doing the same thing here. A little bit of lemon juice or lime juice to this would probably brighten it up and balance it out. But right now it's very flat. It's overly sweet. And all I'm getting is pineapple. I'm barely even picking up the raspberry. Yeah, can't say I like this one.
All right, we can't end on a bad note. Here's a bonus, the Appletini. 1.5 ounces of vodka. We've got 1.5 ounces of our homemade sour apple liqueur. 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, gonna make this extra sour and tart. And 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. Ice. Flippy move, shaky shake. Pouring this one in a Nicanora garnish.
Our bonus drink today, the Appletini. Cheers. Man, I love that. I think this drink gets a bad rap because of the that show. Is it Scrubs? Anyways, the whole easy on the teeny scene.
Appletini, please. Easy on the teeny. Wow, you can really taste the apples.
As a result, it's kind of got a reputation as like a girly drink or something like that. But I mean, especially if you like sour apple, which I love. I love sour apple candies and things like that. This is phenomenal. And you don't have to go easy on the teeny. You can do higher vodka if you want. I've actually made a version of this using an unaged apple brandy known as an apple eau de vie, and it just ramps up that apple flavor. So anyone complaining that, oh, this tastes like artificial apples, try that version. It's amazing. But even this one with vodka is still very nice. Oh, that sour green apple is phenomenal. And this is my homemade version. Check out the recipe. It uses real apples, so none of this artificial taste talk. This is the real deal. All right, guys, we made 11 of the top vodka cocktails, and surprisingly, a lot of them, most of them, were good. I've made it no secret that I'm not a huge fan of vodka, but most of these cocktails are good, with the exception of a few that I'm like, not great. A lot of these are really good cocktails. So let me give you my top 3. In first place, I'm pretty sure you guys all could figure this out, the Moscow Mule. Absolutely love the Moscow Mule. Granted, I do prefer mules with other spirits, Mezcal Mule, Smoky Scotch Mule, Kentucky Mule with bourbon, but the classic is also very good. Second place, gonna give it to the Espresso Martini. I'm a huge coffee drinker, love coffee, and that is just the perfect blend of coffee and alcohol, booze together into a phenomenal drink. Great mouthfeel, great texture. Yeah, it's a fantastic drink. And in third place, I'm gonna give it to the Appletini. Like I said, it's a drink that has a funny reputation of being kind of a silly drink to order, but it is really good, especially if you like sour candy, sour apple candies, things like that. That's basically just liquefied Jolly Ranchers. It's really good. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. We've been making lots of these compilation videos. If you want to see the top 10 cocktails of all time, check out this video right here. If you want to see all of our compilation videos, a playlist of all our top 10s, check out this playlist right here. We've got quite a few: tequila, apple brandy. We've done tiki drinks, top 10. So yeah, definitely check out that video. Otherwise, we will see you in the next one. Cheers.